The film Gasoline Alley is probably one of the worst films I've seen in quite some time. The story's slow, the characters are awful, and the music is not even great. If you never looked at this film, stay far away from it because this movie here is a dumpster fire. Directed by Edward Drake, this film is about tattoo artist Jimmy Jane. He is interviewed by detectives Bill Freeman and Faye Fargus, and he is framed for a triple murder. And it's up to Jimmy Jane to actually find out who's behind this whole ordeal. You know, if I had to say one of the worst films I've seen in quite some time, it would be this one. The characters are boring, the story is awful, and then to make matters worse, Bruce Willis is in this film for only a maximum of 15 minutes, no joke. And it's not just that, the intro to this film is just downright awful. There's really nothing likable about this movie. I wanted this film to be even better, but when you have other actors such as Luke Wilson and Devin Swan, well, it makes for a film that's not worthwhile. And the reason I say it is because a month before this movie had released, I had saw a trailer, and I knew this film was just going to be awful. This movie feels like a straight-to-DVD release. And how this film ever got out in theaters is beyond me, but that's the least of this film's problems. During its 97-minute runtime, we get no real answers. There are plot holes. There is lack of character development. There's no backstory for a lot of these characters, and the acting is not even that great. In fact, Bruce Willis was just mumbling for the small runtime he had in this film. And speaking of which, when was the last time you saw Bruce Willis in a great film? You know the answer to that, it has been a long time. So the mere fact that he just gave another mediocre performance along with everybody else, this film is just, what else can I say? It is a dumpster fire film if I ever seen one. At the end of the day, this film could have been something special, but to me, it's just a forgettable movie, in my opinion. You know what I found funny is that the mere fact that Bruce Willis is on the poster of this movie. I mean, he's not even in the film for 20 minutes. That's just false advertisement if I ever seen one. And it's not just the lack of Bruce Willis in this film, but it's the mere fact that the characters are not likable. Jimmy Jane, he is a character you really don't care about. You don't know his backstory. You don't know why the way he is in the beginning of this film. The introduction to this movie is probably one of the worst I've seen in years. And not just that though, but I was also wondering that the director, Edward Drake, he's directed some awful films in the past, so I'm not surprised this movie ended up being horrible. Nonetheless though, I caution to stay far away from this film because it's not worth your time. I watch these horrible films so you guys don't have to. And this one right here was just a film that was boring, dull, and just not worthwhile at all. I'm giving this film a 2 out of 10. You know, if I had to describe this movie in one word, it would be horrific. A lack of character development, the story being awful, and the mere fact that this film really didn't have anything positive. I mean, I can't find anything worthy to talk about in this movie. All I see is a lot of negative problems that this film has. Nonetheless, though, this film could have been interesting, but at the end of the day, it's a movie that I quite frankly don't ever want to watch ever again. And that's my review of the film Gasoline Alley. Okay, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this film if you have seen it. Alright, this is Slum Guy 172 saying, peace out.